Check, check. Aha, there we go. Can you hear me now? Yes, yes, yes. All right, there we go. You can hear me now, Tyler? All right, cool. To introduce a little bit, looking at coal ball fossils. So coal ball is not actually made of coal, but it's made of so it's fossilized peat that's been permineralized as here we go. Yeah, it's been permineralized as calcite minerals, and then what's done. So this is one of my professor's peels. Is A surface is polished and then a peel is taken. Okay, yeah, we're getting the micro universe already. We'll get on to it. All right, so without further preamble, well, keep me up there too. So, so yeah, this is a coal ball from the the Williamson 3 mine somewhere in Iowa. You can look it up. And so what I'm looking at right now is wood. So that grainy texture signifies some kind of structural and large, relatively yeah, important structure to the plant um, and vascular tissue. And this is probably wood from a cordaites. So cordaites, Cordaites, is it's kind of a proto-gymnosperm thing. Oh, look at that. Okay, so but that's not the point. The point is what we're looking for is coprolites, and this is really cool. This is the first time I've actually looked at this particular specimen. And if we zoom on in here, we can see that there are all these little nubbins. See that in the middle there? All right. And those to me look like something has gone and maybe burrowed its way in there or something like that. And there are all these bundles of material. Now, I don't know exactly what those are. They're awfully small, I will say that much, because we're kind of maxed out on the magnification right now. And let me see if I can get something for scale just to show you how small these things are. Also have to shout out to the public library, South Dakota, Vermillion, South Dakota. I'm in their public library right now. Um, but I'm going to put a little pointer. So I'm using this as some reference for scale. And when I put this underneath the scope, whoops, those shouldn't be too hard to find again. But that's the tip of this pointer right here. Oh, and then underneath there, that's like two. Those those grid lines are like 2 millimeters across. So pretty small, pretty small. And I'm I guess I'm gonna try to take a photo there. I wish the light was a little better. But that's kind of one of my jobs right now is to make kind of an atlas of the coprolites. Oh, Michael Guido! Howdy, Michael. I'm so happy. Yep, increasing the viewership to this channel. We're gonna skyrocket me to viral status. All right, so I'm going to take a photo of that. If you're curious, I've got this, oops, very handy um, streaming software that I'm using. It's free. It's called OBS 31.1.1, and it allows me to kind of create different configurations of multiple streams. So that's pretty cool. Works well with. Oh, look at that. I kind of like that too. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, there we go. It's a little better. Is that better, people? Um, there we go. You can kind of see more of what I'm seeing here. Trying to get this to take a photo though. Um, so just bear with me. You got any questions, or if you got any things you want to say, or themes that you're thinking of today that are micro or not, you can type them up, and we can chat a little bit. Hmm. Oh, yeah. So it's like what is what? Um, so it looks like those are coprolites, so fecal pellets. Um, but I'm not totally sure, and it kind of looks like, yeah, one of the things we're like, what are they full of? What are yeah, what are they composed of? And it kind of looks like maybe um the numbers about 310 million years ago. So it's in the Carboniferous. Carboniferous can be divided into the yeah. Um, the Carboniferous can be divided into the Mississippian and the Pennsylvanian. We're in the early mid Pennsylvanian. I think this is Moscovian by some counts, and it differs by what part of the world you're in. A token is another, or Des Moines kind of around there. But it's about 310 million years ago. So it's before the Permian. Um, at the end of the Permian, you have a huge extinction event that many people know about, and then uh, no mammals yet. Yeah, and these are tiny. These are tiny. So I'll zoom back out. So remember, you're looking at like what's what's right above those possible coprolites are it's like wood grain, if you can think of how fine wood grain is. And there would be there would be amphibians crawling onto land right now. I'm not even sure that reptiles are a thing yet in the Carboniferous. I think it's just amphibians. So you have these crazy things. Now I'm forgetting their names, but temnospondylls. If you look up Temno temnospondylls, that's kind of like the terrestrial amphibian that's around. And then in terms of the insects, so it's probably going to be it's probably some insect that is that's doing this, or some and it's probably something that doesn't exist now. Um, so the ones that we know much about. There are things like springtails, so the collembola, which some today don't even consider as insects anymore. Um, Proturans, there's probably like thysanurans, there's probably um, a number of different things, or kind of branches off the stem of some of the more basally um, branching insect clades that we have today. So there's kind of like the paleo-dictyopterans, were these huge sap-sucking bug-like mouth parts. But I don't think this is their coprolates. So yeah, who even knows what this might be. And to further complicate things, um, this we don't know when the plant tissue is being consumed. So is it being consumed in the terrestrial habitat, or is it being consumed after it's fallen to the ground? Is it being consumed in a kind of a dry or moist terrestrial environment, or is it being consumed while it's underwater? Because that would open things up like certain mollusks or crustaceans um, could be producing things like this. So um, think of something like shipworms, which aren't worms, they're mollusks that are filter feeders and drill themselves into wood, and they actually leave coprolites that look an awful lot like this. So um, or they leave fecal pellets that are kind of collected in this manner. So who knows? So that's why I'm trying to take a photo here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Um, yeah, but yeah, I hope that answered a couple questions. You're free to leave now if you want. Be boring while I try to configure this software. I gotta do it though. Settings, I think. Hotkeys. There we go. Screenshot. Selected source. All right, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, sweet. Yay. All right, snag a photo there. All right, that worked perfect. Nice, 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 nice. So what are you thinking about, Tyler? What's on your mind today? Right. Right on, right on, right on. All right, thank you for joining. So yeah, I wish I could get this a little bit better, because for some reason I can't type comments in, and or I just don't know how to do it yet. Um, and I wish I could just hear people talk instead of so yeah, we'll have to do this kind of in conjunction with a Zoom chat sometime or something. But thank you for the kind feedback there. Suppose I can just chat idly while I do this. It's sort of keep myself company. Look up at intervals to see if anybody is taking the bait and watching along. Yeah, I'm trying to find some plant parts in here to sort of orient myself to what's going on in this peel. You guys, You guys still there? Do you want to see some of the mineralogy there? Want me to talk a little bit more about the specimens? So this, if anybody's curious, is I believe to be a gamitangium. You kind of think about parts of plants that you see. So this is a bit cone-like. That's sort of interesting. Hmm. we go. Nice, nice, nice. Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay, that looks maybe like some intact structure that contains, I don't know, pollen or spores. Hard telling. Hard telling. Okay, so that looks like pollen-filled coprolites, I would say, and it's marked on there. Yeah, so strange. Why would they be all tucked away like that? I kind of don't understand that. Hmm. Hmm.